So let's go ahead and get into the news.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
Let's head over into the drone newsosphere as we hold this show together with bubblegum and Band-Aids. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Sills. Jeff. Hey, buddy. Jeff. Buddy.
Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey,
Hey,
Jeff.
man. Hey, you ready to do the news, bud? And he's muted. All right, well, that's fine. That's all right.
And he's muted.
That's fine. Jeff,
Mute.
you there, bud?
No, I turned the microphone off because I have 5 kids.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so I found out that you've got Geeks Fauna on later on as the guest, and he's a news guy, and
Right.
I figured you were cheating on me again, so I decided that since he had to wait for me, I would add some more news.
Okay.
So I've got lots of stories.
I am-
hope you're.
I am
not
cheating
hard.
on you with another news guy. It's true. But
Yeah.
hey, Jeff, it doesn't mean anything. It was just news, man.
Shh.
Just news. It doesn't mean anything.
I know.
All right.
I feel like maybe I should step out and you two can resolve this amicably.
He
if
does this
possible.
all the time. You know how he gets.
Just trouble. I'm telling you.
Go ahead, Jeff.
All
What
right,
do we
to start off the news, the UK police have used a drone recently to break up an illegal rave that was going on in breach of COVID-19 restrictions. This was near Birmingham, or if you're in England, it's Birmingham.
Birmingham.
The England West Midland region. The police also had a helicopter out there to shine lights underneath and help disperse this group.
You can see
We've
people
got some
closely
audio
bunched
for
together.
Yeah, they're using a FLIR cam. That's
Better than
awesome.
30 people under there, I'd say, at the moment.
Is there any way of lighting that location up, which is maybe giving them a hint that they need to move away?
Yeah, we'll get a bit lower and I'll put the nights on shortly.
Any persons coming out of that site, ascertaining details for fixed priority notice, it's a £200 fine for the attendance of a UME.
So they're looking for places to gather, and gathering is illegal over there at this point, I guess.
Well, it's the COVID-19 restrictions restrict large gatherings like this, and
Yeah.
one of the things I love is that they give instructions to the officers to watch for anybody coming out with electronic equipment that might be associated with the people that were playing the music.
Right. Right. Those ravers, you know how they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So next in the news, we have, I guess, what happens when you fly a drone into a volcano.
Oh, this is fantastic. I'm just gonna let this roll. Watch,
yeah.
watch this. Watch this.
Liquid hot magma. Magma.
Yeah, that's a lot of magma.
Magma.
Yep.
Magma.
He was able to share pictures afterwards of the drone. He melted the camera, most of the sensors on the bottom of the thing, and the frame and the arms. So
Was he using carbon fiber props? If he wasn't, that would have dropped right in there.
yeah, no idea, but I'm sure he's gonna have fun with DJI Care refresh on that one.
Yeah.
You betcha. So you did what now with your drone?
It was magma.
All right. Next in the news, a Swiss company called Swiss Drones has won a contract with the French Power Association to
Nope.
do inspections.
Oh, they have? Have they? Okay. We'll play that one. All right. Tell us about it.
So the Swiss company has won a contract to do high-resolution images for defects in French power lines. Swiss Drones delivered upon their challenge. They had 4 or 5 different companies vying for this particular contract, and these guys won out over all of them because their drone was able to go the distance. It was able to meet all of the requirements that they had.
Look at that thing. That's a lot of. That's
Isn't
a lot of
that
stuff.
the new Phantom 6 prototype?
Yeah, man. Like I said, they're just skipping the 5 and going right to the 6. Are those They are. They're counter-rotating propellers.
Yeah,
They're like the little blender egg beater things you have in your kitchen where they mesh together.
yeah. There's a Russian helicopter that uses that design made by Ivan
Yeah.
Sikorsky, and it's a very stable way. It doesn't require a tail rotor.
Oh, that's cool.
Right, because they're counteracting each other.
Yes.
That is neat. Very cool indeed. Yeah, I like to see that.
Yeah, that's going to be a really cool one. Now, since Jake over there had brought us this great footage from Alaska, I figured, Jake, I was going to give you a bit of a challenge. And I have some amazing drone footage from Queensland's Wallaman Falls.
Jake, can you do this?
I
think
just need to find a waterfall in Alaska that looks like it's about 2,000 feet high.
And then
I don't think
get
we
a
have any of those.
long range setup. I could do that.
Well, isn't that what the DJI FPV drone is for? That's long range.
Yeah. You'd be watching it in 720 because you wouldn't be getting that back. You'd be watching the thing, the cache on
You're
your
watching
phone.
the goggle recording.
Yeah. Wow.
I did waterproof one of my FPV drones specifically because I want to go out and find some waterfalls this summer to dive.
Yes. Can I come with you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm there.
All right, so
While you're up here, we'll find an ice cave.
Okay, I'm all about that.
There were tons of stories about the thunderstorms that rolled through the United States. Lots of flooding all over the place. And so what we have here, since it's close to home for Ken, is footage from Tennessee. This is flooding that happened between Saturday and Sunday. They had 7 inches of rainfall, with another 2 inches expected later on during the week. And the assessments are being done for insurance claims, etc. But this footage was just amazing for all of the areas that got flooded.
It was so bad. The storms were so bad. There's some tornadoes in Alabama that touched down. It was a whole big front. It was awful.
There was even flooding in New Jersey, which I thought was pretty impressive.
Yeah, but they just legalized marijuana over there, so they don't care.
Yeah.
Flooding, brah? Whatever. Yeah.
All right, so since Ken absolutely loves drone delivery,
Love it.
Drone Up, an A2Z drone delivery operator, has developed a patented tetherfall freefall drone delivery mechanism for what they call a rapid delivery system.
Okay, let's watch this in action. All right, so he's got the package. Oh yeah, yep, yeah, that'll happen. That's gonna happen, right there. This isn't the one and only time we'll ever see this. This is gonna be integrated. This is the thing that's gonna be picked up. This is the one. This is the one that you're gonna see everywhere.
Yep.
For sure. Comes down a little baby grand piano and then it slams down on the ground on a string that could never ever get caught up in the props with wind. Perfect. I love it. Totally gonna happen.
You know what the best thing about that is? If you order a cake that starts out 8 inches high, by the time it's delivered, it's more like 4 inches high after it's on the ground.
Yeah. In fact, no matter what cake you order, it will end up being a pound cake. Back to you in the newsroom.
All right, so next we have, Ken loves FPV and Ken loves speed. So I figured this one was perfect for him as well. This is an F1 driver who is named Carlos Saints Jr., who takes out one of the new electric off-road vehicles, and they just happen to catch it all with an FPV
I'm
drone.
enjoying it a lot.
Yeah?
I'm having a lot of fun.
Oh yes.
I have your lap time. Yeah, pole position.
Oh, I want to do this.
Bueno.
You want to track a race car?
I want to track a race car so bad.
Yeah, me too. And I'm gonna do it this summer. There's a dirt track near my house actually, and I've already talked to them, and they're gonna let me do it. And I've been practicing quite a bit doing tracking like this. And I think I'm at the point where I can do it without hitting the car or whatever. But you know, one of the things you have to remember is don't go down too low behind it because it'll kick up that dirt and knock you out. But listen to that. That's a sound. It sounds like just a large RC car, you know.
It's called an Extreme E-Car, and it's part of a new generation of electric off-road racing vehicles.
Both the drone and the car are running on electricity. Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
Oh, the torque on that thing.
Oh yeah.
How many S do you think that car has for a battery?
How
Is it
many?
like a 92 S?
Oh,
battery in that
how
thing?
many S's? Yeah. And that big plug that takes 3 people to plug into the battery.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man. And it goes doo 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 doo.
You know it does. Inside the whole car is
whole
controlled by a
car.
DJI controller that's the size of a quarter.
That's it.
Oh yeah. The batteries are huge. All the electronics are teeny tiny.
Yeah.
All right, so police are investigating after a drone was recently shot down while it was shooting a real estate photo session in Auckland. Jack Mapoban was operating the drone in Beach Haven Road about 5 p.m. Tuesday when he heard 2 noises. So he put down to a neighbor using a nail gun. The third time that the sound came, he began returning the drone back to him, and that's when he discovered that he had bullet holes in his drone.
Oh,
Wow. Look at
now,
that.
they believe that potentially this came from a pellet gun, but the police are investigating this as of right now. Obviously, shooting at drones in the air is a serious no-no here in the United States. That'll get you a federal crime. As for what happens in Auckland, we will soon find out, I'm sure.
What do you think? Do you think that, because that doesn't look like any kind of round, it might be either a pellet gun or just like from a shotgun, a shot from a shotgun?
that's what I was wondering, if it was from like a 20 gauge or 12 gauge shotgun and just far enough off that it only got hit by 1 BB.
Yeah.
Well, the drone was unable to be used after that, and the pilot was forced to get another $2,600 drone because he had another photo shoot the very next day.
Ooh.
People are just such idiots. They think that they're toys.
Yeah.
You know, they think, oh, I'm going to shoot this Walmart special out of the sky. Or actually, probably not. They're like, I'm going to shoot that Walmart special out of the sky. I can just go down Walmart, spend $19.99, get another. I don't want to over the house filming Emma Lou. Emma Lou's out sunbathing in her 4-piece. She got a 4-piece now because she got hot body.
Yeah, but wasn't that in New Zealand somewhere?
Yeah, this is in Auckland.
Oh, yeah, man. They got rednecks
So
in New Zealand.
can you do that back hilly but with a New Zealand accent?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Hold on. New Zealand. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I've recently been able to tell. You know, as an American, it's not easy to tell the difference between Australian and Kiwi. So let me.
Right.
What do they? How do they sound? They do like. They have this little. Oh, okay. I know what they're like. Hold on. When they talk,
I'm so sorry, Jeff. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna insult like so many people, but in Australia they talk like this, right? They talk like this, mate, all right, like that. But in New Zealand they talk like this. They're like, yeah, right? They have that little at the end. They're like, I'm from New Zealand. A little bit. I can't. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, entire quadrant of the world. Now back to you in the newsroom.
Oh, gee, thanks.
How was that for cringe? That was pretty cringe, wasn't it? That was cringe. All right.
All right.
Oh wait, yeah. Fush and chops. I saw it in the chat. Yeah. Sorry. All right, please.
Back to the news.
Please go on. Yeah.
A research team at Georgia Institute of Technology has developed a modular solution to handling large packages without the need of complex fleets of drones. Their idea is to have 4 drones that share the load. And these 4 drones work collaboratively to lift heavy objects.
Why do they need the drones? Why can't they just have one arm with a prop on it, a big prop? Why are they doing this?
One of the things I believe is part of this is, first, it's to get the drones working together. So that's part of the project, is to get the synchronization between drones working together. And that's part of probably what drove the project to initially. But the other thing is that if you think about it, if they land the heavy object and then disengage, and all the drones fly away, then it's modular. In other words, the drones don't have to stay connected to the device. So if they have to heavy lift something, you can have a swarm of drones come in, surround an object, attach to it, take off, move it to another place, and then disconnect and go and as a swarm move to the next object.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but you know, as a college project, this is great It's great that you're able to do that, but this is not a feasible solution to delivery in any way. Good for you, Georgia Tech. You did it. But, there's no practical reason for it. Good for you.
That to me sounds like somebody got a grant and they needed to spend some money on something to get
if we
that grant.
Yeah, if we don't spend the grant, we won't get another grant next year. What do? Let's buy a bunch of drones, stick it to a box. All right.
All right. So next we have Semil Koban, who is a very unusual shepherd in the Bodrum district of Mughal province. He is in Turkey, and he's come up with a very technology-savvy way of using drones to herd sheep.
Ah. Sure, why not?
That looks like a mini 1 or mini 2.
Yeah. What a great idea to use technology in unusual ways.
Bizim ata mesleğimiz. Aslında biz bu mesleği seçmedik. Bu meslek bizi seçti.
Come on, we don't need the subtitles, do we? Everybody knows what he's saying.
Yani
I totally understand every word.
That's insulting that they put subtitles, thinking that I don't understand. What's his language? Where is he?
He's in Turkey.
Turkish. I don't understand Turkish. Come on, everybody.
Yönlendirmede, kaybolan hayvanlarımızı bulmada çok işimize yarıyor.
That's cool, man. Good for him. Very nice.
He uses that to herd around 600 goats, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. See, I knew the Mini 2 was a good drone.
It really is. It really is. Mini 2 is an awesome drone. The Mini 2. The Mini 2 is an awesome drone. This one, back to you in the newsroom.
Shameless plug. All right. So usually with your guests, you have Would You Ride It? And I figured with the news this time, I would bring along Would You Cross It? This is a double-deck bendy glass bridge in China.
Oh, I love this. Is fantastic. This is just, Jake.
The Ryuri Bridge is 328 feet long, spans the Xinjiang Valley in China's Xinjiang province, and it consists of 3 undulating bridges. Part of its deck is made from transparent glass.
Jake, how much would you pay to stand on top and do barrel rolls around and flip-de-doos? How would FPV the hell out of that thing?
Man, I would pay a pretty good sizable amount of money. That looks like an amazing place to go.
Oh, it's just beautiful to look at, but look at that hole. Look at that hole over there. Weren't you looking at it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dive right down in there.
It's funny how all of a sudden you start flying FPV and all of a sudden everything is, I think I could get through that. I bet I could dive that. I bet I could fit through that little hole there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. That was awesome. And what was the name of the place again, Jeff? I love it when you pronounce. No,
I'm not.
Okay.
No.
All right.
All right. So next in the news, we have something really interesting because we have drones that go out and find people that are lost, but this particular company has come up with a way of introducing two-way radios so that drone pilots can actually hear the people crying for help.
All right.
What I was just trying to say might have been a call for help, it might have been critical instructions, it could have even been a threat. Up until now, there's been no way to tell because all UAVs are deaf to what is happening around them. At Dotterel, we've developed aerial audio, the world's first two-way audio communication payload that allows you to hear what is happening on the ground.
Wow.
It also allows the speaker to speak back to people on the ground, allowing real-time conversations.
Follow me.
Internet.
The aerial audio payload includes a first-of-its-kind microphone array.
Real-time analog processor with directional speaker linked to a remote ground station with a simple-to-use app interface.
This technology will open up new applications for UAVs, such as locating and communicating with survivors in search and rescue, allowing real-time interviews from UAVs and cinematography, and providing greater situational awareness for operational teams, keeping people safe. Dotterel's aerial audio adds the missing sense to UAVs, allowing you to hear what you could previously only see.
That is cool.
Yes, and from standpoint of rescuing people, I mean, you can scream and yell at you all you want at helicopters and planes, and up until this point, drones would fly by, and you're just hoping it sees you. But now, you can scream and yell, and the drone could possibly hear you, and that's an impressive feat, something that helicopters and planes just can't do.
Yeah, it shows you what magic a dead cat really is. And I'm sure you use those, Jake, out there in the windy glaciers sometimes, don't you?
Oh yes, all the time.
Yeah.
I have a dead cat that never leaves the microphone that's on my camera.
Yeah, man. That's really cool. That it can be that close. That's like magic.
Yeah, they must have an incredible amount of noise canceling going on inside that drone or wherever to process the audio and get rid of the drone noise.
You can hear the software. If you use an audio editing program that has sound artifact elimination, it kind of sounds like that, like what Adobe Audition does. If you give it a noise print and then it removes that from the sound file, and if that does it in real time, if it gets like it gets like a print of the audio from the drone, like noise canceling headphones do in real time, that's really impressive from an audio standpoint.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, the clarity of the guy talking on the ground was just astounding. I was not expecting to be able to hear him at that distance. So
yeah.
All right. So and I know that Geeks Funnel loves to hear that I have yet more news. Indiana-based Drone Deck is working on the future for drone-friendly mailboxes that will collect packages for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Here's another thing that won't happen. Not to poo-poo it, and the box looks great, but nope.
I feel like this is just a 3D rendering though.
Yeah. Why is Ken always poo-pooing drone delivery? Why? Here's why. Because it won't happen in our lifetime. It just won't. Because picture this at your house, right? Okay, neighbor kid comes over. Oh, look, a drone. He gets his head lopped off. Then they get sued. Then they lose their house and their little drone deck thing. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But let's watch the interesting high-res graphic thing. So you can drop it in there. Oh, and it scans it.
Ooh.
Look at that. That's the scanning. It's scanning it for you. And then, it also scans for explosives. Okay. I'm just being
Does it
real.
Oh, it does sanitize. Wow.
It sanitizes it. Yeah. Climate control. So it's air conditioned too. That's nice. Yep.
Well, in your case, it might be air conditioned. In my case, it better be heated.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be. The computer graphic is totally heated. I'm sorry. Maybe there's one of those nice people that worked on that. This is one of those give us money and we'll make it for real kind of companies. They're just dreaming. It's never going to happen. Let's get realistic. Until battery technology, until we get graphene batteries, until there's a way to make sure nobody gets
like hydrogen cells or something that they can.
Yeah. Until it's cheaper to do that than to put it on a truck. Hey, there's this technology called truck. Have you heard of truck technology?
I have.
Man, I tell you. But truck technology isn't as cool as drone technology.
No, I feel like if you want to raise a few $1 million in startup capital, you got to throw drones something in there to really get something.
I would love to see one of these campaigns, a Kickstarter campaign where they're like, all right, we got this great idea. And what we're going to do is we're going to take your product. We're going to put it in a box. We're going to put wheels on the box. We're going to let that box be driven around in different directions by a human being behind a wheel that can turn the wheels in front, thereby directing the box on wheels with your box to go in different directions. We call it truck.
Well, and speaking of the funding, you guys are kind of on the mark on there. They are working through WeFunder to raise money for that particular project. They've got $1.4 million thanks to over 2,000 backers right now.
What?
And the Indiana Economic Development Corporation is offering up to $1.7 million in tax credits to the company because they plan to create 85 high-wage paying jobs in the state as part of the project for this particular.
What happens when it fails? Do they have to give the money back? Because it will fail.
I don't know.
I don't know how that works, but I got to get in on that. What's it? We fund whatever. What is it?
WeFund.
Oh, I'm going to invent a cooler gizmo. This gizmo, man, it's got a drone, and not only does it deliver drones, it gives you a foot massage, it does your taxes, predicts earthquakes, and makes coffee for you. Send me money.
Sign me up.
All right.
Where do I send a check?
Go. All right. The 2-hour news. All right. Well, what do we got next?
Ken, you decided that you were going to do some ghost hunting, and so I figured this next news story was just something fun for you. This is clips from, I guess, security cam footage that's raised a lot of questions about a mysterious shape flooding the internet.
Okay. Let's see what this is about here. Oh, so there's a ghost running by? Is that what I'm seeing?
The belief is that it's the ghost of a 7-year-old girl.
Sure, of course it is, yeah.
That's been missing. Law enforcement was actually called out for this. And the image of the thing running actually showed up on the police car cameras as well. In fact, when the officer got out to confront the supposed girl, the image vanished.
Yeah, because they hit their windshield wipers and wiped that bug body off of it, right? I don't understand. As soon as I hit the windshield wipers, the ghost disappeared. It's crazy.
It was gone.
It boggles the mind.
Like, it was there.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
And then it wasn't. What?
Well, yeah. And the thing is that the Paranormal Research Society in Mentor, Ohio is confident that they can find this, so you might get in touch with them and do some ghost videos with them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay.
All right. So next in the news, we have an aerial target drone that the U.S. Air Force apparently lost.
Oh, yes. Check this out. This is kind of cool.
This isn't a scene from Mission Impossible. It's not a toy. It's military. When it washed ashore, crews rushed to clear the beach.
There's a bomb on the beach. Go back. It was like, go. There's a bomb on the beach.
All of a sudden, some people stop us and are like, hey, look, there's a missile right over there, and they're blocking it off.
We now know it wasn't a missile or a bomb, but passerbys didn't know that. Oceanfront police were called to investigate what it was.
We came down, determined it was an Air Force drone, notified the Sheriff's Office Explosive Ordnance Devices Unit for Hazmat and the Air Force.
But the concern here is it's stable. Crews quickly cleared this part of Boynton Beach near Oceanfront Park.
It's a drone, so it is fueled. Okay, so they're concerned about the fact that it's a piece of military equipment and there's fuel in it, and that's why we went through our protocols to make sure that there was nothing that was going to harm anybody.
You see, it says United States Air Force aerial target live munition insists civilians leave it in place. The Air Force telling us the practice drone was shot down about 2 to 3 months ago. You see some damage to the device. Officials pulling it hours later back out to sea to be transported and ultimately examined.
Yep.
Wow. How much are we spending on something like this? That's what concerns me. It looks so cool and high tech. It's got a jet on it and we're just putting it up just to shoot it down?
Well, I mean, the Air Force uses multiple different types of product as target drones. They even have F-16s that they modify to fly remotely.
They can get they can get paper targets on Amazon. Can't they just use paper targets?
No.
Can't they just have a really high-powered clay pigeon shooter and just,
a big bullseye, something?
No.
Spray paint a bullseye on the side of the hill?
What are they building those rail guns for if it's not to shoot big clay pigeons out?
Is this where my tax dollars are going?
No.
Okay.
No. You guys are not allowed to assist the military in any way, shape, or form.
It is a force multiplier.
All right, so Ken, I believe we have an update for Brian Bailey, who was one of the gentlemen that received the DJI FPV drone brick.
Yes, you may have heard about this. His YouTube name is Trucker Beetle Bailey, and he emailed me a link to this video. If you remember, I think a couple weeks ago, he received a brick and cotton instead of a DJI FPV quad, and DJI actually gave him a drone because it made the news. Check this out. So this is him. This is the real drone being delivered.
Wait, is this the first or the second?
No, this is DJI making good, and this is his roommate because dude wasn't home at the time. So his roommate is checking out to make sure there's not another brick or something, and
he's like, ta-da!
I'm checking. There you go. Very good.
Nice.
All right. So happy ending for Trucker Beetle Bailey. Very good.
Yep.
Glad to hear.
Yeah, I made good on that.
Yeah.
All right. So, and Geeks Fauna, this is the last of the news. Recently, here in the Texas Park and Wildlife, they were called out to answer for something we don't normally see out here, alligators.
Yes, and there's no drone footage, but I thought it would be a great way to incorporate some old video from our buddy Ken Dono, so enjoy this.
Arlington is familiar territory.
I try to fish at least 2 days a week.
For Cody, who, like all good fishermen, won't say where his best spots are.
I was on the west side, but I won't tell anybody.
And it was on that side of the lake Easter Sunday. Something happened.
My son-in-law said, "What's that in the bushes?" And I turned around and I said, "Well, it's probably a log, but it looks like an alligator."
Alligator! No, I'm just
Yeah,
oh my God,
And there's a damn 6 foot, 5 foot alligator in the dang water.
That's an alligator, dude.
There's no alligator.
Look at that. Holy smokes, man, that scared me. I almost dropped the phone.
Ah, that's an alligator, dude.
It's not an alligator.
Then what is it?
We had a report a few years ago about an alligator being about 3 foot, so it makes sense that it grew a little bit more.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
I think I just shit my pants.
That's the opening of my video.
I just think I shit my pants. I don't even know what's happening anymore. We've been out here for 28 days.
I guess the only thing I hope is everybody leave him alone. He's just out there doing alligator stuff.
And this guy thought he saw an alligator. He didn't.
Spider. Spider. Tick, spider.
Oh, Ken, we love you, buddy.
Poor Ken Dono.
I apologize in advance.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. So far we haven't broken the internet. Things look okay. Let's say goodbye to you and then bring in Geeksvana. Hold on, Alexa. What time is it in London?
In London, it's 2:20 a.m.
Oh my God! All right. See you, Jeff. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for stopping by. Now get out.
You are on the cutting edge, man. You get all the new information, all the rumors. Yeah. So there's a few rumors in DJI land that we can talk about.
There are.
What do you got?
Well, I think, there are rumors and then there are sort of speculation around some facts. I prefer the speculation around some facts from the point of view that at least there's something to base it on. And the first one is there is a new Air 2 that's headed its way to us, which is actually the DJI Air 2. Again, they've dropped the Mavic name again on this one. So this is a battery label from an FCC filing. So therefore, we can be pretty confident the drone is on its way. But beyond that, of course, we're not entirely sure what it could be. There is some speculation, stroke rumor, that there's going to be an IMX 686 sensor, so similar to the Pocket 2. Some people are saying maybe perhaps it'll be the 1-inch sensor. The big buzz at the moment, which is from someone's insider, although I haven't had this verified, is that it will actually also be compatible with the goggles and the motion controller, which I think would be quite a shrewd move.
Okay, now we have to preface this because some people are mentioning it in the chat. This isn't an April Fool's, right?
Yes.
It is an April Fool's.
No. That label is 100%. There's a live stream on the Geeksvana channel where you can find me going through the FCC filing itself. This is an official FCC filing from DJI themselves, and when it gets logged on there, so that it can get the FCC approval to use the radio transmitter frequencies, that usually means it's within a few weeks of the product coming out, because there's only a certain amount of time that the FCC will keep the details secret, because things like the actual product sketches and specification are kept secret for commercial reasons for a set amount of time that's laid out on that in those documents.
Right.
So that product is 100% coming.
All right. So what is the S? What's the difference? What's it gonna be?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Now, some of us got excited. If you bring the label back up.
Yeah.
A moment. At the bottom of the label, of course, because you brought up the top of the label, very kind. There is a new sticker. It's actually a little bit lower down, sorry, which is the UKCA. Now, of course, we are no longer part of the European Union, so that UKCAC is essentially our new CE. We've all heard people hacking from CE to FCC. Well, there's also now going to be UKCAC hacking to FCC. But that made us excited because we've got some new drone classes coming out from C0 to C4, which will mean that you can do different things with different licenses, with different drones flying closer to people and that type of thing. And it was hoped that this would have the C2 label, which would mean someone like myself with the new A2 qualification could fly within 5 meters of uninvolved people. We have reliable information now that this will not have the C2 label. So we thought that might have been what the S was, that it was kind of like a new sort of Euro-focused version with a bigger sensor and that type of thing. But they were going to take, because the first manufacturer to bring out a C2 labeled drone will sell many drones across Europe and the UK. But yeah, sadly, it doesn't seem to be this one. So then that's then led us, of course, to wonder, what are they going to do to this drone to make us want to buy it? And then I think back to the Mini versus Mini 2. And when I heard there was a Mini 2 coming out, I thought the same thing. I thought, what on earth could they do to the Mini that's going to make me want to go and buy one? And as soon as it came out, I went and purchased one, of course, because of the OcuSync 2. And
right. But whatever it is that they release, we'll get a super powerful version over here in the United States, and you'll get 0.0001 milliwatt version.
Yeah, something like that. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, and there seems to be more and more products out there these days to help you hack across. I mean, there's just one's just come out for the FPV drone that lets you go from the CE version to the FCC version. Already, so we usually get there one way or the other. If you choose to do that, I don't personally. But yeah, right. So I'm not sure what they're going to have on this drone that's going to make us all rush out and buy one. Especially
because it's one increment better than what you already had. That's what's going to make people buy it.
It's also something new, of course, because an S on the end of a DJI drone Mavic product is something quite unusual. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're setting a precedent here. I have said since the Mini 2, I wonder if DJI are going down the Apple route and we're going to start seeing regular refreshers of all of their products. And have you got the iPhone 62 and next it'll be
I don't understand their naming process on stuff. It doesn't make any kind of sense.
Yeah.
But all right, so what else we got? What about the Mavic 3?
Well, yeah, the unicorn that is the Mavic 3. I constantly make the joke that DJI could release this can of Coke and put Mavic 3 on it and sell 1 million of them overnight. This is a couple of drawings which have come via Hayu at Drone XL, which again are apparently from an insider at DJI. I have nothing to verify that personally, who has seen the Mavic 3, and these are that person's sketches of it. I would pour cold water on it personally, but this is what I'm here to report what's out there, and this is one of the most recent things we've seen about the Mavic 3. Interestingly, the Mavic 3, as far as I can tell, is the most drawn drone ever.
Yeah,
there are so many sketches of this drone, and that's the difference between FCC leaks and the FPV drone leaks we got with people testing them and that type of thing. Is that I like those kind of leaks because we have a physical photo that we can analyze, or a label that's on an official website, and that gives us a little bit more to play with. Whereas the drawings like this from an insider, I'm not disregarding it at all. Drone XL are a great publication.
At this point, aren't any new versions of anything just really incremental, really, at this point?
Yeah, but we're due a couple of shift changes, because we've got a lot of regulation changes happening in Europe, the UK, a lot more coming in the next few years to the States as well, and also, of course, we are due, I would say, within the next 18 months for a significant jump in battery technology. Significant jump.
Oh yeah.
And I think yes, that's why we're seeing these incremental jumps, because they're already working on, and I really feel like DJI already have the next generation of drones. They're just waiting for that battery tech to drop, and then they're just going to blow us away with these amazing little things that can fly for an hour and can almost fit inside the back of a Mini 2 or something.
Wow. Okay.
I just feel we're on the cusp, and I think there was a vehicle made a long time ago here, the Land Rover Discovery, which was the first one, and it was called a parts car because it used up all the parts of all the successful Land Rovers and Range Rovers, and they put them all together and made this very successful SUV out of them, actually. And I feel like we're in that stage with DJI at the moment, where they're using up the form factors.
It's essentially drone scrapple. You know what scrapple is?
Yeah.
Jake, you know what it is? Now, it's purpose made now, but in the 30s and 40s, I think Scrapple used to be at these little burger joints, just all the little bits of meat and bacon and hot dog and everything that ended up in the back of the grill, and they'd scoop it together and mash it together and make Scrapple for breakfast for you. So that's what that
Exactly.
is. So this is a mishmash.
And I feel like that's what we're seeing, especially with the last few releases. The FPV drone, of course, was something very different, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what direction they take with that. And as far as what they do with the motion controller and goggles, of course, we do have the other fairly heavily talked about situation where the spotter thing could be changing in the US quite soon. So perhaps the Air 2S working with the goggles might make more sense.
Yeah. What is it, Jake? Is it remote ID said to go into effect, April 22nd? Is that what it is?
April 21st is when it's supposed to start rolling out.
21st. Okay. So what else do you know about that? Jake, do you know anything more? Like, I mean, are we going to have to retrofit like right away, or there's going to be a grace period?
No, we'll have a couple years before we have to retrofit. Yeah. I do know that because my renewal is coming up at the end of April, that there's a good chance I might be among the first group to be able to go through the new recurrent testing and not actually have to go to the testing center, but be able to do the online thing.
Do it online, yeah.
And and that also includes the new daylight waiver night flight rules and the new flying over people rules, where you just do the extra training or whatever it is and get that added on to your Part 107.
Right. What about the new flying into people rule? I love that one. That's one I'm looking forward to the most, where you can just fly directly into people's faces. I'm looking forward to that a lot. I'm going to study for the flying into people's.
All those drone delivery companies are counting on that.
Yeah. Here's your tube socks right in your face.
Right in your face.